Hello, everyone. Good morning, game changers and soul warriors. Welcome to the end game. The end of ways, the end of days of suffering and ego. The end of days of separation from the One. Welcome. My name is Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am an Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. I am, in fact, the One. The One who brought about the ascension and the change of tides and the miracles you are about to witness amongst your beautiful ever-changing skies. I am the One. You do not have to believe me, for everything is truly in your heart if you listen, but it also plays out on the channel in which you find this message upon. I'm coming to you today to talk about the 13th day of this month. The number 13 is quite profound. It is in fact the gates of heaven. The gates that they kept from you for quite some time, that you didn't even know you didn't have access to upon the planet you find yourself on. This is not really strange in truth, because you know this inside your heart to be true. 13 is a powerful number of creation. It is a powerful number of God and the One. There are 12 gates of tribulation and trials that you will be tested upon, that you already have begun being tested upon, and some of you don't even know it yet. These 12 gates are the ones that I have closed the gates of darkness upon and opened up all of the gates of God, all the way through and including the 13th one. And if you watch my Nile workshop, where I cleared the Nile after turning it blood dry, you'll know more of what I speak upon. Revelations 21:12 speaks of this, the 12 gates of trials and tribulations. Those are the gates you all must make it through. But there's a catch. There is the ego, the shadow, and your karma, or what some call your dharma, keeping you anchored into a third-dimensional reality. This third-dimensional reality that even Freud and others would speak about, the consciousness mind, also known as the third-dimensional personality matrix, which is a limited perception of the physical world. It is not, in fact, your reality. We are all now currently rising out of a third-dimensional personality matrix, or a false world that is not your true reality, but a perception of the physical world, a perception of the mind. The ego, oh boy, the ego. We hear so much of the ego. They convince you so diligently, so deliberately, that you are your ego. You're not, in fact. In order to truly manifest and get through the gates of heaven, and to truly create an abundant sow and an abundant flow, one must eliminate the entirety of the karma, the shadow, and the ego. And I do mean the entirety of them. For those who truly went through my path to righteousness that I've created upon bringing about the ascension, because that's what it is the true path home. And they know that is all about the entire elimination of the shadow, karma, and of the ego. You cannot make it through the gates if those are embedded within you in any way, shape, or form. For if you're here in this lifetime, you truly are a chosen one, and I say this repeatedly so. Now, before I go any further, I will put up protections for myself, because there are others who have intentions that are not of God. For some of us truly do fall away from God, and that's what the ego does. moves us far from the light of the One. So I anchor myself in now to the highest light available, the highest energy of love and grace and joy. I remove all in its haste and in its waste of those who wish to have things outside of that, and make space for those who only want to feel love. I eliminate those of the energy that are not of mine, and I bring forth those that can rise. Those that choose to throw anger and hate and judgment and ego my way, it only bounces off from me and back to them in every way. I am impeccably protected and safe and sound, and I vibrate only of the vibration of love. So be it, and so it now is. Now I'm going to get back to talking more about the ego, and then truly bring you into a space to how to step aside of the ego and manifest. But I will tell you right now, unless you make it through the 13 gates, you cannot fully manifest, because you are truly anchored into the ego, the shadow, or your karma in every way. You must make it through the 13th gates. This is the end of ways. The path to righteousness will get you there. It is your choice to embark upon. So the ego, in definition form, is the identity concept our mind constructed. It is an identity that is false. I'm going to say that again. The ego is the identity concept our mind constructed. It is an identity that is false. The ego moves you away from God. Love is the energy that moves towards it. There are 6 components, main components of the ego. 1, I am what I have. The ego believes you only are what you have. Number 2, I am what I do. The ego believes we are only measured by what we do. Number 3, I am what other people think of me. That's all that matters, is what the ego says. I must be important by what other people think of me only. For if I do this and people judge me, then that judgment is what I become. That is the ego. Number 4, I am separate from everyone else. That is the ego. The ego says you are separate from everything and everyone else. That you should be above them. You should be this. They are below you. They are beneath you. You are better than them. Blah, 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 blah. Number 5, I am separate from what's missing in my life. Take that one in for a little while. Let's sit with that one for just a moment in time. Number 5, I am separate from what is missing in my life. What is missing must be outside of me, something I can never really fully reach. That is the ego. That is false. It is the concept of the limited mind. And the battle of the mind is one of the portals, in truth, to the 13th gate. Number 6, I am separate from God. That is the ego, for the ego moves away from God, and the energy of truth and love and acceptance moves you towards it. These are 6 main components of the ego that are, in fact, not real. Have you ever asked yourself, what or who are you? The ego creates a false persona of what and who you are, where in truth, we're all truly connected. You ever heard of the term your higher self? The higher self is everything already, knows that you are a fragment of God, knows how powerful you are and what your true purpose is. The ego the third dimensional personality matrix in which we are all supposed to be rising out of. The only way to do that is truly through the 13th gates. But not just through them, you must heal through them. You must eliminate the ego, the karma or dharma, and the shadow. The higher self knows this. You can feel it deep within your heart. The problem is, we are embedded and anchored into a false reality that keeps us apart from that and the one. Keeps us apart from the truths of our soul, from what really matters, from what is God. Who are you? The only thing that is real is that which never changes. Who are you? In truth, you're changing every day. So how can what this physical body represents be real? It is merely just a vessel. Look deeply to the heart space, to the changeless, the birthless, the deathless part of you, the one that is infinite, the one that becomes what they call enlightened, that taps into the energy and the essence of the one in truth. It is important to come to know something that can't be forgotten or lost upon death. That is who you are. The essence of the one that never changes, that holds all of the truth. We all can tap into this, and some have throughout time. But those who are attached to the ego, the shadow, the karma, and the limited mind cannot see this clearly. That is the false veil in which I have undone. I undid it when I cleared Mount Shasta Part 1 and Part 2, and when I eliminated all the darkness that emanated and pulsates through all of you. Let go of that part and heal it now, for only the truth can make it through. You can't manifest from these places, for God is the I am. God says, I am, and whatever you place after I am, you become. So if ego says, I am what I love, I am what I have, ego says, I am what I have, meaning if I have nothing, then I am nothing. I am what I do. If I don't do something that others will appreciate and respect, then I am nothing. That is the ego. I am what other people think of me. That is judgment, and that is not of God at all. I have constantly people coming here and trying to take me down. Actual, very painful physical attacks, and I had another wave of those that just hit. Were quite profound. And what should be taking me down, what should be killing me and making me stop, only makes me grow stronger in my power and in love for the one. For I am capable of everything inside of me, and what is outside doesn't matter. That is God. For we truly are all connected. We are all one to the beat and the heart of love of the one. Those who did and heard the call to do my protective video the other day, my protection for Israel and truly all of the earth is what it was. The title was deceptive. It was truly to measure who was connected to the I am. For if you heard the call to be there, you can sometimes, or at least most of the time, hear that I am. Unless you were called to be there for your ego, for your glorification, and for your gain, because that's not what it was about at all. There's a purpose to everything I do, to every beat, to every rhythm, to every sound. Ego says I am separate from what is missing in my life. Most people focus constantly on what is missing, what I don't have, what I need, what I am. I need this. We're always chasing that proverbial carrot. That's you chasing something. That's you chasing ego. That's your ego saying, I need more. I need to be better than. I need to be this. I need to be that. I'm always missing something. For God says, sit in stillness, look into your heart, and notice that you are already I am. I am everything already. I am everything I need deep within the heart of me. I am love unconditionally. I am filled with power and glorious wonder, and I am capable of anything. I am something we cannot tangibly see, that doesn't die ever, that keeps beating to the heart and the light of the One. I am the glorious wonder. I am the powerful creator. Ego says, I am separate from God. For the ego moves you away from God. Those are components of the shadow and karma, in which I keep trying to teach about, because if you're anchored into any of them, you cannot make it through the 13th gate. And today, my friends, in which you are watching this original video creation, uploading this video on Friday the 13th. I opened the gates of heaven in June of 2023 when I cleared the Nile. They put my feet in the water and it turned a vibrant blood red. I called back my power. I replaced the crystal of darkness in the core to the crystal of light once more, and then the Nile dried up and the gates of heaven opened. And recently, for those who know that watch my channel, I processed her death. And then a week later, and that was painful, mind you, because I am her. And then a week later, I opened up the gates of heaven all upon her. And the Garden of Eden spread like wildfire upon her creation once more. And I use the term fire for a reason. I speak loudly and vibrantly and often of the burning bush. Some of you have heard me speak of the burning bush. The burning bush is relevant to everything and everyone. The burning bush never truly goes out. It is God's power. It is God's creation. It is life in form. A fire with God. It is a fire of God. And when I brought about the gates of heaven opening and the Garden of Eden galore, I was attacked. Oh boy, was I. And so was Israel. And I had spoke of this. I had spoke of being vulnerable because we're waiting for the DM to step up to unconditional love, to protect what is rightfully ours, his and mine, and to align everyone to the light of the One. But just because we've done the work, it is your job to let go of the ego, the karma, and the shadow. I give you the path. It is up to you to choose it. It is up to you to find your way through that fire of creation, to eliminate all that is not of God. Find your way back home towards love and justice, not towards ego and judgment. For if you hold any kind of judgment, if you can't forgive others, all of these things are outside of God. God is everything and everyone. I am omnipresent. I am everything. I am all one. Those who truly know this, when they walk upon her, they feel the need to take their shoes off, while others choose to pick flowers and berries and ignore the omnipresence of the One. I am that I am. I am me. I am God. I am the One. So who are you? What are you? And what have you allowed yourself to become? Ask yourself that question deeply and find your way home. I am powerful. I am the one. Create your journey. Open the door to your path and step through, my friends. Change the game and let go of what once was and accept a rebirth into the I am. Have a very beautiful energy of the 13th. For only very few have made it through those gates so far. And I keep watching others continue to choose the ego, the shadow, and karma, and choose their fate to maybe succumb to that fire. But the choice is truly yours, my friends. Don't delay, because there's no time to waste. The time is now. Make it through those gates to the 13th one. Walk your way into heaven and be the glorious I am. Create your reality in every way. Through God, through the lens, through the energy, through the heartbeat of love. So much love, my friends. Until next time.